I didn't plan to return that night, but the mountain called, the way only something you've built with your own hands can. When I pushed open the cedar doors, the scent hit first: pine, firewood, and betrayal. And there she was, my sister, Julia, standing by the fireplace I'd carved myself, her voice soft and syrupy as she raised a glass. "Welcome to my Christmas lodge!" Applause followed, laughter, glasses clinking. My hand froze on the doorknob. Her fingers rested on the mahogany railing, the one I'd spent weeks restoring after the flood, sanding every inch until it gleamed. She had even left the brass initials I'd etched, R.W. She probably told people it stood for rustic warmth. I stayed in the shadowed hallway, unseen, watching her smile for the guests, watching her steal everything that was mine. Back then, Julia wasn't this polished liar. She was the one who'd cried on my shoulder when her marriage fell apart, the one who said, "You're the only one who never leaves me behind." When I bought the land, she helped me pick the name, Ravencrest Lodge. She said it sounded powerful. She was right. It was meant to be a home, a fresh start after my own divorce. She offered to help with paperwork. I trusted her. She said, "Don't worry, I'll handle the legal stuff. You focus on the build." So I did. For months, I poured everything into that place. My savings, my time, my soul. And then one morning, the letter came. A polite notice from the county office, addressed to Julia Weston, owner of Ravencrest Lodge. I remember staring at that envelope for a long time. No screaming, no breaking things, just silence. That's when something in me changed. Love turned to calculation. I went through every document, every receipt, every hidden clause she had slipped in while helping. She'd transferred ownership through a shell company. My name was gone. My work stolen. She underestimated me. She always had. For months, I let her believe she'd won. I smiled when she invited me to her soft opening. I sent congratulatory messages, polite and neutral. I let her bask. Meanwhile, I was rebuilding something else: control. I hired a forensic accountant, an old friend from university. Quietly. We traced every transfer she'd made, funds from our joint trust, investments she moved without disclosure, fraud, embezzlement, forgery. She'd signed my name more than once. Then came the call to her ex-husband. Turns out, Julia had kept a few secrets from him, too, ones that could affect their ongoing settlement. He was happy to cooperate. So was the county registrar, once he saw the evidence. All I had to do was wait for the right night to let her know. That night, tonight, was perfect. The grand reveal, the cameras, the press. I stayed out of sight until her speech ended. Then I stepped forward. Her laughter faltered when she saw me. The color drained from her face. "Ryan?" she whispered. "Nice place," I said, my voice even. "I almost didn't recognize it with your name on the deed." Guests looked around, confused. She tried to smile. "Oh, Ryan's just joking. He's my brother," I finished, "who owns this lodge." Murmurs rippled through the crowd. I pulled a document from my coat, the reinstated deed, the official ownership transfer, the fraud report already filed. Her hand shook. "What did you do?" "What you taught me," I said softly. "I handled the paperwork." Someone laughed nervously. The silence that followed was heavier than snow. I turned toward the guests. "Apologies for the confusion. The lodge will reopen next month, under its rightful management. Tonight's event, however, is over." Security, my hired staff, began ushering people out. Julia just stood there, by the fire, her perfect evening collapsing around her. Later, when the crowd was gone and only the embers glowed, she tried again. "You ruined everything," she hissed. I looked at her, my sister, my betrayer, and saw the truth of it. She'd never wanted to build anything, only to own it. "No," I said quietly. "You did that when you forgot who taught you how to build." She reached for my arm, desperate now. "Ryan, please!" "Save it for the hearing," I said, turning away. The snow outside swallowed my footsteps. The mountain air was sharp, clean. For the first time in a long while, I could breathe. It's strange. The moment justice arrives, it doesn't roar. It whispers. Now the lodge is mine again. I kept her initials above the fireplace, a reminder, not of her, but of what I learned. Trust is a currency, and I spent mine wisely this time. When guests ask about the design, I just smile. I built it myself, I tell them, and I did, brick by brick, lie by lie, until the truth stood taller than her deception ever could.